Practice exam 2, number 5. So this one is a classified balance sheet. So it's going to have a little more detail than the balance sheets that we've been doing. All right, and we're going to go through first and mark where everything goes and also scratch out the things that we don't need. Okay, so common stock is equity. Unearned revenue is a current liability. Note payable, I'm going to assume this is a long-term liability. I'll try to make sure it says on the exam. Accumulated depreciation, this goes on the asset side. It's a contra asset. And more specifically, it's plant, property, and equipment. Prepaid rent is a current asset. Furniture is plant, property, and equipment. Accounts receivable is a current asset. Depreciation expense, that goes on the income statement, so we don't need that. Accumulated depreciation is plant, property, and equipment. Transportation expense goes on the income statement. We don't need that one. Machines are plant, property, and equipment. Retained earnings goes in equity. Accounts payable is a current liability. Cash is a current asset. Office supplies are a current asset. And we don't need the dividends. Those go on the statement of retained earnings. Okay, so we have Potter Company balance sheet, and then the date, July 31st, 2017. All right, so I'm gonna do my assets over here. We're gonna start off with current assets. Can you see that? All right, our current assets, we have cash. And we need accounts receivable. And do we have any supplies? Prepaid rent, I saw. Is that it? That's it. All right, so our cash was 12.2. Accounts receivable, 1,700. Office supplies, 100, and prepaid rent. That's 2,000. So we have our total current assets. I'll add those up in 1 second. All right, then we have plant, property, and equipment. Okay, so for our plant, property, and equipment, we have furniture. And I'm gonna bring that even, like, try to bring it even closer to the inside. So furniture is 18,000. All right, and then it has accumulated of 300. So I'm gonna say minus the accumulated depreciation of 3, and then just its net comes over here, or its carrying value. And then I have machines. My machines are 60,000. And their accumulated is 250. So I'm going to add up and get my total PP&E, and then I'm going to have my total assets. All right, so let me add everything up. So my current assets are 16,000. My PP&E is 77,450 plus 16. So my total is 93,450. Okay, then liabilities. All right, my current liabilities, I have unearned revenue and accounts payable. So I'm gonna do accounts payable first for 13. And then unearned revenue, which was 600. And then you need to put a subtotal for that. But I'm gonna have long-term note payable. Since I just have the one, I can write it like that. And that's 40. And then add those two together, and that's my total liabilities. All right, then I'm gonna have my equity. I'm gonna have common stock and retained earnings. All right, my common stock is 48,000. My retained earnings are 35,50. Add that up. $51,550. That's my total equity. Then liabilities plus equity equals 93,450. They equal out, so I'm happy. That's my total liabilities and equity.